She's back. Goldie is back from the Melbourne Demons to play for Dublin today. Well, she's in the subs at least. I'll be surprised if she doesn't get a game. She is 33, going on 34, and within a couple of weeks' time, wearing 24 today, but still very much capable of coming into this Dublin team and making an impact. 8 All-Stars. What a record that is. 4 All-Irelands. What a brilliant defender she has been down the years, and arguably she could be even stronger now after her time with the Demons. And there she goes, looking to get a ball and go on the attack and put a lovely ball in there to Niamh Heatherton, and that's Orlan Nolan. I feel like I'm commentating on the game already and we haven't started, but those are the Dubs in the sunshine at Parnell Park, just warming up, and warming is indeed the word to be used today. It is the start of the 2024 TG4 Leinster Senior Football Championship first round game. There's another one in Park Charlton, and that is Meath and Laois today. So 4 teams in the championship, as there is an intermediate and in junior, so very evenly, perfectly evenly divided for the championships this year, which is perfect. It means there's lots of games for everyone, and Leinster is always brilliant for us, and they always, of course, bring on the sunshine as well. So this is real championship weather. This really feels like the start of it. We are live on Facebook, on Leinster LGFA Facebook and Leinster LGFA YouTube. If you want to go to the YouTube link and prefer to watch it there, the link is in the chat there on the Facebook page. Feel free to let me know where you are. Probably at a beach with an ice cream. Feel free to send me a photograph. We are in the sunshine here in Parnell Park, and it looks absolutely resplendent. They've fertilised it recently. The pitch is always in good nick, but it seems even greener today and in really good nick. And there is the Kildare team on a 22-game unbeaten run, stretching back to losing, would you believe, to Louth in Division 3. But since then, they have won Division 3, they've won Division 2, they've won Leinster Intermediate, they've won All-Ireland Intermediate, and now they're coming up today with the biggest test of all. They've earned this right, though, to put it up to Dublin, the All-Ireland Senior Champions. So this is the battle of the champions in Parnell Park. That is the build-up for it. The Senior Champions against the Intermediate Champions. Let's have a look at the teams. That's the Kildare team you're looking at there, but we are going to start by having a look at the Dublin team, and it's very, very interesting, this Dublin team. Obviously, they tried a lot of players during the league, and the surprise that I was reading earlier on is that 10 of the squad for Dublin today didn't play in the 2023 championship. Some new, some are back, but just shows you the amount of turnover that they have in Dublin. Now, they have a lot of players, obviously, but to mix all that together and get the right mix, Mick Bowe and his team work very, very hard, and they have come up with this team today, and I would say that is their number 1 team for the championship. They tried 33 players in the league, give them all plenty of time, but this is the starting 15. I would imagine that as a result of all those experiments, this is what they want to go with and carry all the way through. So Carla Rowe at full forward, Hannah Terrell in there, of course, familiar names, and they have Orla Nolan at 12, but she plays around that sort of number 11 role, sort of picking up the ball from midfield. She's the playmaker. Caoimhe O'Connor will tear up and down the pitch as she does. Grace Kosh is in there now. She's earned her starting place today. And the 2 Niamhs at 5 and 7, watch out for them. They are 2 terrific young defenders. And Alwyn Carey, good to see her back with a starting position there. She played in a few different positions, as everybody did, but that's obviously where they want her in there. She is in there in the centre of defence. Leah Caffrey, of course, the captain at number 3. Former captain Martha Burnett, number 2. Tenacious player, and good to see Jess Tobin back in as well. And Abby Shields, current All-Star there. But look, as I say, in the subs, Sinead Goldrick, and not forgetting number 25, Nicole Owens, who's back from a couple of cruciates over the years, and she is back from St Sylvester's. Great to see her back as well. So those are starting 15, but Dublin, of course, could have named another 10 or 15 easily, but that's the 25 they're going with today. You can name 30, I think, but they decided to name 25, and that is what they are going with today. So that's Dublin. Let's have a look at Kildare then. Mary Hulgreen in goals, and Aoife Clifford at number 3. No relation to Grace, though, from the same club. She's at number 8 and captains the team. Ruth Sargent, also from that club, super young player who's come through, and she is at the centre of their defence. Mia Doherty is from Leixlip, and Fiona Trout is at high. And the big change, though, is that Roisin Byrne at number 14 is not starting. Now, she is their main go-to in the forward line. Well, Nasa Dooley, I suppose, as well, but Roisin Byrne has been there the last couple of years, been a key factor in their 22-game unbeaten run, but she is not starting. She's named on the legal team of the league. That's how well that she did. But she is replaced by the number 21, Niamh Farrelly from Kill, and I don't know what the reason for it is. She seemed to be taking part in the warm-up, but she's not. And now we'll have the anthem. Now I wonder, is that the starting Dublin 15? If it is, then Nicole Owens is in from the start. We are now having a minute silence, and that is for John Jack Kelly, a brother-in-law of the Kildare kitman from Moorfield in Kildare, and that's been announced now. So what I was looking at there wasn't actually the Dublin 15, it was the forwards. They were all in one group and the defenders were in another group nearer the goal, so that's what it was. So it doesn't mean Nicole Owens is starting at all, although you never know. Probably get on. The last time these counties met in senior was 10 years ago. There's Grace Clifford talking to her team and maybe reminding them of that they have come a long way and they have earned the right to be here. This is a huge test, and let's go and see what you can do today. She seems to be wearing gloves actually. Grace might ditch them after a while in these conditions, maybe not necessary. But she is drilling into them. Let's go for this. This is not just any ordinary game. It's the first round of the TG4 Leinster Championship. They haven't come this way for nothing. They want to put up a really, really good show today. And they want to put it up to Dublin. And this is their biggest test. And they've come through a lot of tests. But this obviously is the biggest of the lot. It doesn't get bigger than playing the All-Ireland Senior Champions. That is what they have in front of them today, in their own backyard as well, that has to be said. So we are nearly ready for the start. The referee is Barry Redmond, and I'm just looking on to social media to make sure everybody knows about the game and that they are aware of the live stream. So Barry there doing a few late stretches, and there is the Dublin team. Now we can see who's there and if there's any late changes to that team. They all seem familiar enough to me from the match programme. Yeah, there's Leah Caffrey on the left. All-Ireland champions, the reigning All-Ireland champions. And this is the start of their defence of that All-Ireland title that they won so impressively last year in Croke Park by beating Kerry. Good crowd has come into Parnell Park, all over on the far side, or mainly over on the far side where the sun really catches you, so I hope they all have the sun cream. And I'm just looking to see positionally who lines out. Dublin will be surprised not to see Roisin Byrne out there, so there's a little bit of a surprise element there for them, but they will of course adapt and see what is needed. Let me check your messages on the Facebook page on Leinster Ladies Gaelic Football Facebook. So we're off and running with the start of the 2023 TG4 Leinster Senior Championship, and it's Dublin up against the new kids on the block from Kildare. First time in 10 years, and immediately Jennifer Dunn puts a high ball in there to Hannah Tyrrell, and this is definitely where they picked up from from the final last year. There's Orla Nolan now over on the left-hand side, trying to get onto that right foot, and I guess that, I was going to say Kate Sullivan, but it's not. They come out to Jennifer Dunn, and Kildare sitting in there. They have their system of playing that's been very effective, but this is Caoimhe O'Connor, who has gone right through that system and going for goal. Oh, she hits a post, and that was so close. She will get a free for her troubles, but what a start that would have been. Mary Hulgreen was nowhere near that one. I don't think any keeper would have been. She just managed to find a spot. Grace Clifford was following her, and another inch or two to the right, and that would have been a goal in the first minute for Dublin. And it would have been interesting to see how Kildare would have responded to that. Now, they're only putting 2 on the line here. Sometimes get worried when, well, I suppose it's 21, but actually there's only 2 on the line, including the goalkeeper. I thought it was 2 defenders and the goalkeeper, but Hannah will take her time. We just popped this over the bar, but that could have been a disastrous start for Kildare. But it's certainly a wake-up to Senior Championship in Leinster. Hello, Kildare. You'll not find it that easy here against Dublin. They were nearly through there. The sun usually, where is it, over on the left here? So it's sort of been Mary Hulgreen's eyes in the first half, I would imagine. Now, look at this press from Dublin. That is aggressive, and it's worked because it's gone straight to a Dublin player, and Kate Sullivan is there leaving it back, and I think that's Kosh who's coming through and intelligently just leaves it off. They're just working the angles and getting the kick away, and there is another point on the board, and that is from Kate Sullivan, who started that, and the slick Dublin machine has already clicked into gear. 2 points to 0, 1 point for each minute that has been played. Claire Keown on Facebook says best of luck to Kildare. Well, it looks like they're going to need it the way Dublin have started. And here comes Jennifer Dunn again, and here's Caoimhe O'Connor looking for it. And she does get the goal this time. Well, she threatened in the first minute, and now she's got the goal in the, is it the 3rd minute? It is the 3rd minute of the game. Caoimhe O'Connor, and she sliced through twice. Once hit the post, and once she's got a goal. Well, this is a blistering start from Dublin, and Kildare now will be wondering, hold on a minute here, this isn't quite what we expected. We knew it would be tough, but this has certainly put it up to them. 3 attacks and 2 scores. And Carla Rowe looking to take it quickly, and they always look to get it in there to Heatherton or Tyrrell. This time it was well defended. Now, how will Kildare respond? 5 points down inside 3 minutes. Welcome to Senior Championship football, Kildare. Their unbeaten record definitely under threat. Grace Clifford. They will say that they're just trying to get a performance today, but it is a proud, proud record, and the rest of the country is watching to see how they will cope at this level, how really good this Kildare team is. So keep the messages coming on the Facebook there. Very interested to find out where you've gone to today to watch this game. Holding an ice cream in one hand and the phone maybe on the other. This is Clifford. Gets it to Lara Gilbert, another of the Kildare players who will go to Croke Park in a couple of weeks and pick up their Team of the League award for winning Division 2. But this is Championship, this is different, and that challenge from Caoimhe O'Connor is being penalised. She had her arms up there, and the referee didn't like that at all, and he is ticking her for that challenge. Grace Clifford now looking for some movement ahead. Dublin have a sweeper in there, and it's Martha Byrne who is the loose player. And Kildare's number 2, Fiona Trout from a tie. Same club as Nessa Dooley, who they'll be looking to now. This is the corner back, Mia Doherty, but she runs into traffic and loses the ball. She's one of the very young players who've come into this impressive Kildare team, and impressive is the word for the work that they've been doing at underage the last few years. Nolan gives it back to Jennifer Dunn, and Kerry calls for it. They spread the play, and I see a pair of gloves dropped on the pitch there already. I wonder, are they Grace Clifford's? No, she's still got her gloves on. This is Tyrrell, and she just scoops it up and gives it to Caoimhe O'Connor. Well, she's been slicing through the defence 2-3 times now, but that one just goes over Tyrrell's head, and they take that one quickly. I think it was Doherty and Clifford, and she's under serious pressure, and Orla Nolan has it, and she comes away with it, and this is going to think to the left. Or is it? No, it's going over the bar. Sorry, it was the angle I was watching it at here. It did go in, but it looked to me like it was going to the left, but it was perfect, and it is 1-3 to no score. And Grace Clifford there was surrounded by Dublin players, and the ball was turned over. And Kildare at the minute just struggling to come to terms with Dublin's aggressive approach from the kickouts and indeed all over the field. This is Byrne. She's looking for movement, but there's nobody down in the right corner at all. So she comes inside to Kerry. Kerry, who's back in the Dublin fold. This is Kosh. This is Kerry again, trying to get through. Now she's held up, but Dublin have so many options and quick hands. They get it to Rowe, and the captain delivers, and it's 1-4 to no score. It is one-way traffic in Parnell Park. Now let's look at this aggression from Dublin again from the kick-out. Mulgreen does get her kick away, but the referee has halted play because he's going into, well, I thought he was going in to talk to an umpire, but he actually threw something at the feet of the umpire. Was it, well, he wasn't wearing gloves, but I don't know quite what it was, but maybe a bit of equipment. But either way, it's meant that Kildare didn't get away. They thought they were there. They thought they got position. Mary now has to go high to her left, and that just about evades caution. Clifford gets it. That was well judged. And look at this. This is like the Derry Donegal game yesterday when they got the ball up the field. There was lots of room there. It was a one-on-one, and it was Niamh Farrelly and Leah Caffrey, and Leah fouled. And that could be an outlet for Kildare if they get the ball quickly up the field. A lot of Dublin players committed to the press there. So that's the other side of the aggressive press, when you commit a lot of players forward, as Mickey Harts-Derry found out yesterday. Now Nessa Dooley with her first chance and doesn't hesitate to go for a point, but it's a brilliant block from Niamh Donlan. Now it was easily anticipated. She went for it right away, but it was still very brave and very good technically from the Dublin player, and it means that Dublin are on the attack again, and Dunn pumps it in looking for Terrell. This time it's well read by Aoife Clifford. But look at them trying to get out. Dublin committing a lot of players high up the field. They really are putting the pressure on Kildare early on. 1-4 to no score. And the only chance that they've had was easily blocked down from over 20 metres out. This is Ellen Dowling. Again, serious discipline tackling as well. That's what Jim McGuinness was talking about as well. Intelligent, intense tackling. Although the referee has actually blown for a foul there. And he's ticked as well. So he's not shirking that side of it at all. He's ticking and making sure that the tackles are good. Clifford goes back to go forward. Well, Kildare might have anticipated this, you never know. I suppose they're coming up to senior. They can't be that surprised. They've come up against the All-Ireland senior champions, but that tackle also has been penalised, and again the referee is ticking for it. Some referees don't always tick so much, but I've noticed him ticking a lot for all of these challenges. That could add up against Dublin, but they are an easy street at the minute. 1-4 to no score. 8 minutes gone. That one played into the corner to Nessa Dooley. The last time she went off her right, she can go off either side, and she's tricking the defence there and putting a dangerous ball across. Now she's going to get a free there, but I'm not sure what the ball across was, but at least they will get a chance here just to settle things and maybe get a score here. Crowd very quiet, certainly the Kildare crowd, as you would expect after the start. There's a few scammers coming on there in the chat on the Facebook page, but we'll get rid of that. This is absolutely free, thanks to the good people of Leinster LGFA. No charge at all, free to view on Facebook and on Leinster LGFA YouTube. Now, where's that gone? Is it gone over the bar? It has just gone inside the post. And boy, did they need that, Kildare. Their first point in senior championship football in quite a while. And it was actually their number 11, Ellen Dowling, who got it. And she's now back around the middle of the field. It's going to be tough getting up and down the field today, especially when you're losing. Dublin, though, don't seem to have a problem. They look very fit and very sharp and very fast in these early exchanges. And Kildare are set up with 2 or 3 players sitting back in there. But Dublin just ripped through that defensive system that has served Kildare so well over the last 22 games. This is different, though. This is a step up. This is All-Ireland senior champions. Kildare have been playing in Division 2 and in intermediate, but this is senior. And Dublin have very much given them a warm welcome. 10 minutes exactly gone. Caoimhe O'Connor again and lots of room. And off she goes, just holds up possession. And Kiva gives it inside to the runner, and that's Jess Tobin. She runs into trouble, but she's going to give it back to Kosh. And they're just going to take their time. This is the way Kildare play. They'll let them have the ball out there, but Kildare sitting very deep. They have 14 players behind the ball. They're filling the spaces, but as I said, Dublin have managed to find ways through rather easily in the first 10 minutes, and that's the 2 number 8s. That's done, shrugging off the challenge. And the referee allowed a little bit of advantage there and then brought it back. Congratulations, by the way, to the Dublin under-16s who won the Leinster final today. They beat Kildare. High-scoring game. Looked like a very, very entertaining, a great game, but they won it by 3 points. Terrell now. Just outside, well, to the side of the D. Good angle for a left footer. 11 minutes, 15 seconds gone, and just steps inside, and she's going to curl that in beautifully, I would imagine. And she did indeed, and it's 1-5 to a point for Dublin. Now, Hultgren, where's she going to go with this kick out? What are the options? She's had to go long most of the time. Dublin cutting out, well, they marked the spaces there and they cut out the short ones. Long one has worked though. That's Aoife Radigan who's done well, but she's immediately under a lot of pressure. And look, Dublin have got it back already. They put the press on. If they don't win the first ball, they'll win the second. Now there was an arm swung in there. I don't think the referee appreciated that. He's going to give the decision to Dublin, and he wants a word as well with Hazel McLaughlin for the challenge there. And he's getting his book out. Now, is this a tick or is it more? No, I think he's just having a word and settle down, and maybe that's just a sign of the Kildare frustration. They're finding it tough going out there, and finding it so hard to get the ball and then to hold on to the ball if they do get it. Actually, is he hopping this? I think he is. So Jennifer Dunn is in there against Nessa Dooley, actually, who's out from the full forward area. And Kildare get the decision. That's better from them, and it's Clifford, and their crowd just behind Grace there responds to that. That's what they want to see from this Kildare team. They really want to see what they're made of today. They've proved themselves at every level up to this with an immense and superb rise up through the ranks. This is Grace Kildare. Now she shrugs off the challenge from the other number 8, and she gets her free. The referee give advantage again. So the number 8's colliding at both ends of the field, and this time it's Kildare who get the decision. The referee calling it forwards. Maybe there was a Dublin player who was too close, I'm not quite sure, but ball brought forward. That makes it a little bit easier, and maybe Ellen Dowling can get Kildare's second point of the game. Her first was from similar position, maybe a little bit further in, wasn't it? I think it was, but she'll maybe fancy it after the first one. Strikes it well, I think, and again inside the post. That's a carbon copy of the first one. 2 points to Kildare. 1-5 plays 2. 6 points in it. Oh, and look at the space here for Dublin. Well, this is the way Diane O'Hara's team set up. They will not put any challenge. They won't put a glove on Dublin until they get almost till halfway. Not that players are wearing gloves today. Well, this girl is actually. There are a few. This is Kosh. 2 and 4 for Dublin. Martha Byrne and Jess Tobin. And as I say, Dublin allowed to have the ball out here. And Kildare, I'm just looking off camera, have 3-4 players around the D just marking space. But here come Dublin to test that rear guard, and indeed they draw a free. And this is in a kickable position, and it will be Carla Rowe this time with a right-footed kick rather than Tyrrell. So Carla, the captain, and she's a survivor from when these teams played 10 years ago in the senior championship. Dublin 6-14, Kildare 1-9 on that day. Sinead Ahern scored 3-6, 3-5 from play, and of course she's been in the squad this year. So 10 years ago, the last meeting in senior championship. Steals a yard or two and kicks it just inside the post, and that's her second, I think, isn't it? She got one from play. 1-6 plays 2, 7 points in it. Now Mary, where is she going to go with this one? Does it have to be a Hail Mary? Up the field, up the middle, but there's lots of Dublin players there, and that is not even contested. That is straight to Jennifer Dunn. Kildare having serious problems with their kickouts. And such a contrast to the other end where Dublin are allowed to get the ball easily. Kildare cannot get a ball, and they've had to fight for it. The second ball, the third ball, and they've got it. But no easy possession from them. Dublin have obviously studied Kildare and decided, right, this is the way we'll play today. And they've smothered Kildare, and it has worked very well so far. Jason Whelan says, come on, Kildare. Well, they need a little bit of support. Things are not going as planned here. They're finding this one tough, understandably. This is Dublin in the championship. Another tick by the referee. Dublin tried a lot of players in the league, but you got the impression that it was all about trying players and experimenting. But this is the real deal today. This is when they really go for it. You got the impression that if they won in the league, that it would be more sort of by accident almost. If they got to the final to take it, but they weren't really aiming for that. That was not their objective. Never really is for Dublin in the league. But this is what it's all about. This is championship. That's why they've won so many in the last 7 or 8 years. Kildare trying to get forward, but look how hard they've had to try and work to try and get forward. And a foul given there by the referee. I think he'd given it before that, but given advantage, so free for Kildare. But yeah, they've just had to work so hard to get up the pitch at all, and now it's Dublin who are sitting in. The other game today is Meath against Laois in Park Talton in the senior championship as well, and we'll be streaming again every week in the Leinster senior championship. It's Meath leading in the other game against Laois, 1-4-3 after 16 minutes of that game. So look where Mary Hulgreen is. Mary, were you not watching Celtic Park last night? Get back in your goals. This is Ruth Sargent. Game just settling down a little bit now, and Kildare enjoying a little bit of possession, not making too much progress, but they'll be happy enough just to get possession. Calm things down a little bit, try and engineer a score or two, maybe one from play. Here's the girl who's got their 2 scores so far, Ellen Dowling, both from frees, and she puts an interesting ball in there, and there's Caffrey in there, and Farrelly nearly got on the end of it. That was a ball made for the likes of Roisin Byrne, but she's not here today, and Farrelly just wasn't able to get there. Very close, and that could have been a goal chance. It was a great ball by Dowling. Made it really difficult for the defence. An injury in there, and it's actually Farrelly who is struggling. Farrelly came in today for Roisin Byrne, and maybe she just had an ankle injury or something from that, but she's in a bit of bother. Players treating this as a bit of a water break. Remember those? I'm not sure what the physio is doing there. I thought it was ankle, but it's something around the facial area. It's not contact lenses or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, there's a break in play, and I'm just checking your messages all the time, so another opportunity to read out your messages. Feel free to post them there on Facebook or on YouTube. I'll try to read them out as we go on. Big audience watching the game, I'm glad to say. Lots of other games on today, of course. A lovely day, although there is a chilly breeze, and we're finding it up here in the gantry. It is cold, believe it or not. When you're out in it, it's nice. Championship weather. The referee now going over to see what the issue is, to see if it can be speeded up to get the game going. Brilliant setting in Parnell Park, one of the favourite venues in the country for media and for players, and when you get a crowd here, it's nice and compact as well, and terrific pitch. Abby Shields just monitoring the situation. And it looks like Kildare are having to make a substitution, because number 18 is looking to come in. And that's Lara Curran from Milltown, and she is a fine, fine footballer. I was kind of expecting her to be the first sub, but not this early in the game. And Farrelly, who started ahead of Roisin Byrne, Looks like she is not going to be able to continue. That's Curran who comes in. Now where will Curran play? I think she plays around the half forward line usually. So who will go into that full forward position? And a nice tap there from Leah Caffrey to her opponent. And this is mad. Look at that. If the camera comes a bit wider, there's hardly any Kildare players in the Dublin half at all. There's zero challenge on the kick out, and obviously that's the way that they play. So there is the sub getting, or the player going off getting a round of applause, and that's Farrelly. Maybe running repairs. Maybe we'll see her again. And no Roisin Byrne on at that point, so obviously she has some kind of an injury, I would think, because otherwise she'd definitely be in there either at the start or now. Caffrey and Byrne at the back for Dublin. They've seen it all at senior, welcoming a new challenge today and dealing with that challenge very efficiently. And that's Caoimhe O'Connor looking for Tyrrell, and she braces herself and judges the bounce perfectly. She could have went off her left there, but instead, nice little intricate quick move through the hands. Rowe and Dunn involved. They moved the ball quickly, and now they're looking to find a way through, and there's a little drop of the shoulder. This is better from Kildare to hold them up. They have a lot of players back there, but they haven't coped terribly well with Dublin coming at them. Now the ball comes in, and that's a terrific ball across the field to Orla Nolan, and she's going to put that, no she's not, it's going to go to the left. In fact, it's still in play. The keeper has to come out, and Kildare will survive there. But Dublin have so many angles of attack. I think that's the issue. They can put it in high, they can slice through, but they move it quickly and they really test your defence. This is not a level that Kildare have been used to, but today, well, they've sort of stemmed the tide after the opening 5 or 6 minutes, but they're still 7 points down and without a score from play after 22 minutes of the first half. They'll be happy at this stage, I say, just to have stemmed that tide and just to still be in the game. Clifford with the bright boots coming over to take this one, and they are just slowing the game down a little bit, and most of the time our frees have had to go backwards. That says something. The Dublin press now, Mary Hulgreen. And she looks for Doherty, but she's having to go and run for that with 2 players chasing her. O'Connor gets there first. And that's what Dublin are doing all over the field. They're so fit and so fast, so organised. Lauren Murtagh to McLaughlin. Again, you see the tenacious tackling from Dublin. Severe challenges on the ball, putting them under serious pressure. This is Clifford, and again, she has to turn away to keep possession and gives it to Aoife Clifford, the 2 Cliffords. And it's Kosh. Cliffords do well, trying to get through the hands, but there's Tyrrell now making the challenge, and that was Claire Sullivan trying to get through, and she met the challenge of 2 Dublin players, and she got her free, but again you see how hard it is for Kildare just to make progress. The referee has ticked, but Claire Sullivan doing well there from Carberry. She got one of the goals in the league final. Now this is Ellen Dowling again, but she again been tackled tenaciously by Tobin on that occasion, and another free, but they just cannot get up the field, and it's coming in installments. But is this close enough for the sub who's come in to get it over the bar? Lara Curran fancies it, but she's put it well to the right and didn't get a curl in that one at all, and it went straight off the front of the boot and well wide. 24 minutes gone. Caffrey now for Dublin, and off camera all I can see is Kildare players running in one direction, and that is from left to right, away from the ball, just trying to get back in position. They have to keep their shape, keep their system, keep true and faithful to the system that has got them here, and hope that things turn a little bit. This is Nolan. Blistering start in the sunshine from Dublin, and that's why they lead 1-6 to 2 points after 24.5 minutes. Here they come again. That's Carey with a quick hands, but it's well defended there that time by Kildare. And remember, there could have been another goal in the first 30 seconds, but they're still within touching distance, I would say, just about the way things are going though. That's Murtagh under pressure. And they do get through the middle of the field, and the referee gives them advantage, and they pump that one forward, and they're looking for Dowling, and Byrne has got the wrong side of it, but somehow, even though the ball was behind her, she managed to know where it was and managed to get a hand to it. Great defending by Martha Byrne. Carla Rowe. Now she's the one under pressure, but Byrne is there and available. It looked like there might just be a chance there for an opening, but it didn't come. Lots of games in Leinster today in the junior and intermediate. Well, all 12 teams are involved. Wicklow leading Wexford 1-2-4 in their game. Here comes Kiva O'Connor again, and Hannah Tyrrell now, and this might open up. There might be a goal chance here. She feeds it into Sullivan. Well, she scored 2 goals in the Leinster final last year, and she's picked up where she left off, and so have the Dubs. And coming up to half time, they lead 6-2 points. They are moving in a very, very slick way. They have picked up where they were in the championship last year, and they lead the new kids on the block 6-2 points. And that's a super goal. Just as I was saying that Kildare were just about staying in touch, that is a blow to Kildare's hopes coming up to the break. Going back to the updates from elsewhere, Longford lead Kilkenny 1-4 to 2 points. Carlow lead Louth 1-5 to 1-2. And Meath lead Laois 2-4 to 3. Marion Farrelly with a goal there. Offaly leading Westmeath 1-5 to 3. Back to this game, and pressure again on the player on the ball, and Dublin steal it back, and it's Carla Rowe, and look who's on the run again. It's Sullivan, 1 goal, looking for another. She scored 2 in the Leinster final last year, and she just didn't connect there. In fact, she's injured in that, and Mary Hulgreen read it, and the referee is going to hold it up here because Kate isn't bother after that. It looked for all the world that she was through to get another goal there. I'll see it again. With her pace, she wanted to get on that right foot, but didn't seem to be any other player involved there. Maybe it was just her foot on the ground. Maybe she just twisted it there as she kicked it and just kicked into the ground, or her foot landed in the ground, planted in there, and that was a sore looking one. And Dublin will monitor this, and I'm sure they'll make a change if there's any bother at all here. And I see Nicole Owens warming up from the same club as Kate Sullivan. She's been immediately sent out to join the players warming up, and there's 3 already warming up, including Sinead Goldrick. But this is obviously Nicole Owens being sent out because she would be a direct replacement for Kate. But Kate is on her feet and looks okay. Yeah, she should be okay. A little bit gingerly, but she'll be fine, I think. And she will definitely continue. Kick out again, straight up the middle, and won again by Dublin. Alwyn Carey, Martha Byrne. These players have been there, done that, and this is Jennifer Dunn, and she's going to go for her own score and gets it, and that's brilliant from Jennifer Dunn and from Dublin. Well, they're stalwarts, they're All-Ireland winners, are back in force, and this is All-Ireland senior championship level that they are showing today, and that's why they lead 2-7 to 2 points. Oh, and that kick out may be intercepted by Tyrrell. She just gets a paw to it and keeps it in. But it's going to be another kick out. Half time cannot come quickly enough for Kildare. Just the 2 points from frees. And these have been the problem, the kick-outs. Mary looking to go. And look, it's all Dublin players close to her. They're blocking off the area, so there's no short ones. And when she goes over the top, it's Dublin who keep winning the ball, and then they just feed it straight in there. And this is Sullivan, and she is going to get a free there right in front of the post for the challenge from Claire Sullivan. Sullivan on Sullivan. Offaly lead Westmeath 2-5 to 1-3. A goal from Ellie McAvoy, the captain. Wexford leading Wicklow 1-4 to 1-2. And Meath the 3rd goal. Another one from Marion Farrelly. So 3-4 to 3 points there as Carla Rowe extends the lead here in Parnell Park. Well, we built this game up as the champions against the champions, but there's only one team in it so far, and those are the All-Ireland senior champions. Nessa Dooley coming all the way out to the field to win the ball in Dublin. They are very clever, some might say cynical at that, the way when they lose a free, they stand in front of the ball. And they put that ball in there looking for the full forward again, and again it's well read, but Caffrey has actually been penalised for that challenge. But Kildare, when they've tried that, it has looked a few times like they might get in that big ball into the full forward who's been isolated. Hasn't worked so far, but on that occasion they've got a free, and this is Well, this is number 21. This is Farrelly. I didn't realise she came back into the play. So, yeah, she did have the running repairs and has come back in. So, if you're just joining us, Niamh Farrelly came in at the start of the game for Roisin Byrne. And she had to go off with an injury. She's back on, and she has just scored her 3rd point of the game as we are in added time at the end of the first half. But, yeah, Dublin, they do that, don't they? They will get a free against them, and they'll stand over the ball. They'll stop the transition quickly. And they did it on that occasion, but Kildare still got the ball away. This is Orla Nolan. This is Carla Rowe. Oh, lovely place. Nolan again with a shot, and Hulgreen up to it on that occasion. Nolan is calling for a foul. The referee, I think, is given a 45, but Hulgreen kept that one out and keeps it down to 2 goals. But really in this half, Dublin could have scored 4 goals quite easily. So just checking at the end of the first half if there's any more comments from you watching the game wherever you are, on the Facebook there or on the YouTube. Feel free to leave a comment. Not quite the game we thought it would be. We weren't sure how good Kildare were. They've been able to put it up to them, but they have their usual system out there. But Dublin have just been so good. The high press for me is what it has been all about. They just have smothered Kildare and got that blistering start, and they've just extended the lead in the last 5 or 6 minutes. And Dublin challenging so tenaciously around the middle of the field, and Kildare, well, Nessa Dooley has had to come so far in there. You see she tries to get through, and she 2 or 3 players on her, and they just haven't been able to get their game going at all. Dublin dictating the terms, I think is the way you could put it, from the first half. But let me know what you think on the Facebook there or YouTube by leaving a comment. It's 2-8-2-3. 33rd minute of the first half. I don't think we'll have, well, we might have a bit because it was the injury to Farrelly that held us up for a while. Now that ball is not going to stick with Farrelly. It goes all the way through, and that's easy again for Dublin. The white shirts drifting back into defence. And Dublin allowed to bring the ball into the Kildare half, and they still managed to find a lot of room, even though there's a lot of Kildare players back. This is Nolan on the right foot. She was always going to come in on that right, and she's nearly always going to score as well. Super player, TG4 All-Star, and that should round off the first half at 2-9-3. 15 plays 3, a 12-point lead for the champions. And a kick out from Hulgreen. Well, it has to be pinpoint, and you see it was a good kick out, but Dublin still have won it back. They've won so many of the Kildare kickouts. This is not something Kildare have been used to on their 22 game unbeaten run. Byrne. This is ominous for the rest of the championship. The champions with Hannah Tyrrell, and they finished the first half with another fantastic point. What an exhibition in the first half. Well, the Dubs at the start of the defence of their TG4 All-Ireland Senior Championship have put down a marker to the rest. It's 2-10 plays 3 at the break. Hulgreen again, nowhere to go. Has to be pinpoint, and it is. She manages to find a pocket of space, but that ball was booted forward, and they have kept possession, but it's tricky. And there's a challenge going in from the number 9 Kosh, and they've won it back again, Dublin. Very, very impressive first half from the Dubs. Caoimhe O'Connor putting it in, looking for Heatherton, and she does get a hand to it and breaks it. Now Tyrrell is looking for it, but she will come back to Caoimhe O'Connor. Caoimhe and Hedgehoe from the Clontarf club. This is Kerry to Dunn. Heatherton again after getting the ball from Donlan. And there is the half-time whistle, and what a tough first half it has been. Nearly 35 minutes of it for Kildare. Haven't scored from play. They've been under pressure for 90% of the game. This has been a really warm welcome in these conditions from Dublin to Senior Championship football. This is another level again. And Diane O'Hara has all the work to do at half-time to try and get her team going in the second half and try and get back into this game. I don't think their unbeaten run is going to continue, but we'll see what they can come up with in the second half. They will be playing from left to right and have the sun at their backs, if that helps. And there's a comment on the Facebook there. No Roisin Byrne starting. No, we got word just before the start that she wasn't starting. So yes, that hasn't helped them. Niamh Farley has gone in there and done her best, as is Lara Curran when she came on. But Dublin have dominated. They have dictated the terms and they lead at half time by 2-10-3. We will take a break to get an ice cream for ourselves and we'll be back for the start of the second half. Welcome back for the second half. Dublin leading 2-10 to 3 points. Nessa Dooley, number 13 there now, out around the middle of the field, trying to get possession. I wonder, will it be a bit different in the second half? Kildare outclassed in the first half, but playing from left to right, maybe with the sun behind them, will it make a difference? Well, not from the first ball. And look who's on the ball. It is the Demon, back from Melbourne. Sinead Goldrick back in at half-time for Dublin. First game since July 2022 for her. Number 7 is Niamh Donlan. I'll work out who Goldrick is on for. This is Tyrrell on that left foot. She had a few options and then thought, well, I'll take a shot myself, and it's actually hit the post and gone wide. But Dublin carrying on where they left off at the end of the first half. Just looking around the pitch to see who's there. Caffrey's there. Donlan is there. Kosh is there. Kerry is there. I wonder is Niamh Crowley or Martha Byrne still out there. I'll pick that up as we go on. Crowley is there. I wonder is it Martha Byrne maybe who has made way for Sinead Goldrick, who's now on the ball. To Kerry. Well, it's a throwback, isn't it? This is rolling back the years. This is done now. Scored a great point in the first half. Gives it to Kerry. Feeds it to Sullivan. Quick feed as always, and back to Goldrick. Would she fancy it from there? No, she passes in. That's a cracking ball and beautifully taken by Nolan, and she pops it over the bar. The old and the new for Dublin. Goldrick is back. Dublin are back, and they are playing as well as he did in the final last year. This is a very impressive start. 2-11 plays 3. Hulgreen again forced to go long, and it's gone straight to Orla Nolan. How many times have kickouts gone straight unchallenged to Dublin players? And here's Sullivan in again, and she just leaves it off for her captain, and her captain says thank you very much. Third goal for Dublin early in the second half, and they have thoroughly killed off the challenge of Kildare. Well worked and unselfish as well, and slick play. And Hulgreen just no option but pump it up the middle. Now Grace Clifford has taken that one well, and Kildare will try to go up the field as quickly as he can, but that was Crowley again and getting back, and referee said there wasn't a foul there. And Dublin get the ball back so quickly and they put pressure, but now Kildare have done exactly to that to them as well. Dowling. Dublin have a wall of blue across the field, and they're following the runners, and they've extra players back there, and they forced the ball to be just put down into the corner, and it is, and that was Sullivan who popped it down there to Farrelly, who's been closely watched by Caffrey, which he's got away from her, but two more on her way, and she gets, oh, well, there's a consolation. Now the referee is actually blown, and he might be bringing this back for a free, is he? And although it's a goal, he seems to be indicating, or no, he's ticking a few players, that's what it is. He has given the goal. And some cheer for Kildare. Their first score from play in the game, and it's come from Farrelly, and boy, did she have to do it all herself, but she did it all really, really impressively. And that at least is something for the big support that has come from Kildare. 3-11 plays 1-3. Nolan hugging the touchline and coming in. Such an impressive link player and creative player for her team. As Dublin use caution, Goldrick around the middle, and Goldrick has just fitted in seamlessly, and of course as I say that, she gives it away. Grace Clifford now switches on to her left and looking for the direct ball into Farrelly again, who's isolated, but this time Kerry comes across and takes care of things, and they just snuffed out the danger on that occasion. They weren't allowing another ball to go into Farrelly, but Kildare have left Farrelly up there on her own, and she really is isolated. Kildare sticking to their game plan. They did at least get a goal out of it there. So a lively start to the second half with 2 goals in the first 5 minutes. They come back out to Kerry. Elsewhere, if you'd like to know some of the updates, Carlow leading Louth 1-7 to 3. Wexford leading Wicklow 1-6 to 1-3. Awfully leading Westmeath 2-5 to 1-3. Dublin leading 3-11 to 1-3. What an impressive scoreline, and they've a long way to go yet. High ball looking for Tyrrell or Heatherton, but it's Mulgrane who takes it bravely and takes a bang for her troubles, but wins the ball for Kildare. It's been a tough afternoon for her, under pressure. And bravely reaching up into the sky there to win that one. And again, no options. Oh, there is one short. Actually, Doherty has gone short. She's been allowed to do it on this occasion. Guess it's different from kickouts. It was a free. And Mary, oh, she's giving it straight to Nolan, and Nolan might lob her here. We've seen a few lobs this weekend already across the country, and that's gone all the way through to Sullivan, and somehow it doesn't end up in the net. The referee, I think, is going to give a free in, and it was Mulgrane again who got there. It's going to go out for a 45, I think, and she redeemed herself there just about. Oh, she did. She got a very important hand to it, kept it out, and in the wars again, and under pressure, Kildare, but at least they keep that one out. Now Nicole Owens is coming in for Dublin, so Goldrick is on, and now Owens comes in for her clubmate Kate Sullivan. So Nicole Owens, great to see her back as well. 25 and 24 in for Dublin. And I'm sure plenty of subs will be rolled on throughout the rest of the half, but it's not like the National League. It's not the unlimited substitutes. It is 5. But I'm sure Dublin will use all of their 5. They've used 2 already. Owens involved to Carey. And all of the players on the field bar 3 inside the 45. 27 of the 30 players inside the 45. Now the system has worked well for Kildare for 22 games, but not today. Free in for Dublin. Tyrrell will take this one. Just checking where Nicole Owens has come in. Left corner forward seems to be the area. Nolan sticking on the left half area as Tyrrell puts that safely over the bar for another score. Now let's look at this kick out again. Can they find a way? And you see the way the Kildare players, they don't go short, and the Dublin players are all nearest the goalkeeper. They're marking space and closing off the area and making it impossible for Kildare, other than having to hit it long, and that's a 50-50, but they do win it. Is she out of play? Looked like Nessa Dooley had gone out of play, but I think they'd been given a free. But that sort of foul, I always feel, doesn't really suit the team on the run, because Dublin have got back. Now they're trying to run at them again. This is Fiona Trout. And this is Dooley looking for the crossfield ball. Just tackled as she kicked it, and clearly didn't get advantage there. Dublin so aggressive in the tackle. So, shall we say, professional at stopping the running game. They make another change, and Grace Kosh coming off. And there's a Darby, I think, who's come in. Played very well in the National League. Chloe Darby from Parnell. It's just up the road from here. 3-12 to 1-3. It's very hard to get a quick transition against the Dublin team. Meath managed when they won their All-Irelands, of course, and they had Vicky Wall and very fast transition players, and they burst through and burst out and got past them. But it's very tricky. Lots of Kildare players drifting back into position as that ball goes over the line. And it's a Kildare ball, but they've all drifted back, so there's nobody there to take advantage of that quick winning back of the ball. And there's Darby going in to challenge, trying to get it from Radigan. Hazel McLaughlin to Sullivan. Wears 12, but plays quite deep, sort of around the half-back area. She's going to be available again to get it, and she's looking for the ball in, but Dublin have players back there, and they've everything covered. This is Doherty. She's got the gloves there if needed. I don't think she'll need them today. This is Gilbert. Gilbert runs into trouble and is penalised as well. Dublin get it back with O'Connor. Lots of options for her. Niamh Donlan now. We'll give it to Goldrick. To Crowley. Nolan hugging the side as ever and then making the run in. Not needed on this occasion. Heatherton confidently plays the ball across field. A contrast to when Kildare did it a few minutes ago and it was much higher and less accurate. Now that's a dangerous one and it could go in, but instead it's well saved and well watched by Mary Hallgreen. And safe hands at the back from her to watch that one, because a little flick could have put it anywhere, but she has been crucial as ever for her team today. Clifford. Hazel McLaughlin is 9. 7 is Lara Gilbert. Mia Doherty. And it's Dublin's turn to just back off a little bit here. Oh, but then the challenge comes in, and that's a brave hand in there. And nearly got the ball back. And they have got it back now, and it was probably from that initial challenge. Here come the Dubs again. It was Tobin who got the initial hand in, and now it's Heatherton. She'll want to get on that right footer. Give it to Nolan. Nolan gives it inside. She is fouled, but advantage has been given, and Dunn fancies her second score of the game and just about pops it over the bar. Just got the distance and a fine score. And the referee ticking for a foul on the way to that as well, as Kildare look to make another substitution. 12th minute of the second half, and Kildare are making a change. Now where's she going? She's going around the middle of the field. Number 9 is going off. That's Hazel McLaughlin, and 26, I think it is, which would be Sarah Munnelly from Confey. I think it's 26. See if she can make a difference. Indeed, the kick out is going straight to her. This is her running for it. The sub has just come in, but Dublin have 2 players for every one, it seems, and certainly for challenges like that. And it was Goldrick who won it back with Kerry. And that's Nicole Owens putting it into Nolan. Well, Dublin rolling back the years, and they're as good as ever, and they get a free. And no doubt Carla Rowe will take this one. Another change for Kildare. Is it Trina Duggan, I think, coming on? And 10 is going off. That's Trina Duggan, yeah, from Suncroft. So another change from Kildare. That's 2 in a couple of minutes. They may as well use their 5 substitutions. There was unlimited subs in the league, but only 5 in the championship. 19 is on, and that is Leah Doran. Carla Rowe, that familiar stance. Doesn't miss, and Doran, by the way, is on beside Sinead Goldrick. Well, she's drifting now into the middle, Doran, a little bit. Look at the press again from Dublin. Marking the space, and you can see they're all signalling to each other. Nothing short here. Force it to go long. Tobin is going off after a great afternoon at the back, well, all over the field really. And the sub coming in is 26 for Dublin. And that is Aoife Kane. So 24, 25 and 26 all on for Dublin. I think that's 3 they've made now, so they've 2 more. Hallgreen forced to go long by that press, and so many times it's gone to Dublin players without any pressure on them at all. And that's been key to Dublin's dominance today. And again, tackling back, and this time it's Tyrrell who gets a boot to it. If they don't win the first ball, they usually win the second. That's Nicole Owens with a sublime, beautiful ball into the middle, and this deserves a goal. Oh, it's just gone wide from Niamh Crowley, I think it was, but that ball was sensational, and actually it's a penalty. It's a penalty to Dublin. Well, Nicole Owens, you can't beat class, even though she's a 2 cruciate. She's back today, and that ball was absolutely sensational, the way she threaded that one through. And a chance for, who is it? It's Nolan, of course. She scored a goal in the league against Waterford. Carla Rowe has taken penalties in the past. Sinead Ahern, but it's Nolan against Hulgreen and sends her the wrong way. A lovely little side foot. And Dublin are masterful today. 4:14, and we still have a quarter of the game today to go rather. And they have been absolutely superb in the sunshine here in Parnell Park. Claire Sullivan. And Dublin's dominance means that Kildare's 22-game unbeaten run is going to end. And end in a very sobering way. They've stepped up today, Kildare. They've earned the right to be here, but they've found out that the step up is a big step. That's Aoife Kane into Derby. 2 of the subs. Well, actually, is it 4 subs Dublin have used then? I think it is 4. This is Owens. To another one, that's Goldrick. And that's what we know Sinead Goldrick for. Battling for every ball. Kildare managed to get it back. But again, the pressure on from Goldrick and the rest of the Dublin players. They work so hard to get it back. And Kildare really know today what it's like to be at senior. Dublin sub. Is it Carla Rowe? I think it is. The captain going off. I think I mentioned Caffrey being the captain earlier on. Well, of course, Caffrey's the vice captain. She has captained the team at times in the league when Carla hasn't been there, but Carla is the captain. 21 on for Dublin. Annabelle Timothy from St Finian's and Swords, who did very well in the National League. I think there was a Kildare sub as well there, or they're certainly warming up a player, which isn't difficult today. Yeah, I think they have a sub on. I think it's 27 is on for Kildare. And that would be Ellie O'Toole from Kilcullen over on the far side there, I think. I'll just double check that for you in a moment. 17th minute of the second half then. 4:14 plays 1-3. Well, this game was billed as a battle of the champions, but Dublin have very, very much shown that they are the senior champions, and there is a gulf there, the way they've been playing in this game. They've laid down a marker. This is a signal of intent for the rest of the championship, and look at the way they won that ball back. And then they've so many options, so many runners. They look so slick, and they've Goldrick back, and they've Derby in there, one of the younger players. And well, that little 20 seconds just sums up what today is about. Dublin not paying any heed to unbeaten runs. They are the champions for a reason, and they are out to defend that title, and they're doing that in style. 4:15 plays 1-3. Another sub. Is it Curran who's come back in for Kildare? I think for Ellen Dowling. Yeah, Curran was in the first half, if you remember. Temporary sub, and now she has come in to the field again. 27 is indeed out there, just to confirm that change for Kildare. I think that's probably Kildare's 5 changes, and maybe Dublin's 5 as well. Still 12 minutes to go. Dublin playing as if it's the first minute. Remember, they hit the post in the first 30 seconds. And they've just carried on from there, and really they were the favourites already for the All-Ireland, but now they've really underlined that. Heatherton to Jen Dunn. Scored a great point in the first half. This is Owens. Lots of room. Kildare sitting very, very deep. Been forced to sit deep, but too deep, because Dublin getting a lot of room around the fringes, and they've so many options there, and they're so creative when they get it in, looking for some of their full forward players. That one didn't quite work. It was Dunn actually who drifted there to the edge of the square. This is the sub who came in, 27, Ellie O'Toole for Kildare, but not really making much difference, the subs who've come in, because Dublin have just been so dominant. This has been a real wake-up call for Kildare. I'm sure they're not terribly surprised, but this is what they need to aim at. They'll learn a lot from today, and this is Clifford, the captain, and she has found a little bit of space there, but she's finding it so hard to get forward, and she does well, and does well to get it back as well, but her options restricted, whereas at the other end Dublin have just so many options. That's great play by Clifford though, to get her team forward. Doherty all the way up there as well. And this is one of the subs, that's 26, and that was Munnelly. And here's a chance for a goal, actually. Oh, and it's beautifully taken, and that was a terrific move. And that will give Kildare a lot of heart, and they do deserve that, and especially their captain, who was at the start of that and helped them get that. 2 goals looks an awful lot better for them, and they've done that in the second half. They've actually only scored twice from play, and they've both been goals. And that was an excellent one. Let's liven the crowd up a little bit, especially the ones wearing white in the sunshine on the far side. And they are now, for the first time today, really getting behind their team. I'm wondering, can they stage a late and good last 10 minutes or so and make it interesting? Elsewhere, the Leinster Intermediate Championship. Oh, hold on, because there might be another chance here for Kildare, because that's bounced all the way through on the firm ground. There's a chance for France. She just throws a leg at it, but unable to get a decent connection on it, and Goldrick just picks it up and boots it long to Nolan and Owens. And here come Dublin again. Well, this is really turning defence into attack, but that's going to go all the way into Mulgrane, or Hullgrane, sorry. Where did I get Mulgrane from? Elsewhere in the Leinster Intermediate Championship, it's Wexford leading Wicklow by 3, 1-9 to 1-4. Actually, that's 5, 1-9 to 1-4, 12-7. Wexford leading... sorry, that's a similar scoreline there. I'm a little bit confused. Wicklow and Wexford seem to put up different scores from the same game. So let me check that for you. Yeah, Wexford leading Wicklow by 5. That is the score there. Nessa Dooley. Every time Kildare get forward, there seems to be 2 Dublin players on them. The work rate from Dublin is quite phenomenal. Carlo lead Louth with a goal just now, making it 2-7 to 1-4. Meath dominant against Laois. Ciara Smith with a point, making it 3-7 to 1-6. 7-point lead there for Meath. Lauren Kearney got a goal back for Laois. And Awfully leading Westmeath by a goal, 2-6 to 1-6. That's your updates here in Parnell Park. A chance for Kildare's 4th point, and she's landed that beautifully inside the post, and that's her 4th point, all from frees. Well taken by Farrelly. Shields under no pressure at all to get possession from the kick out. Done. O'Connor. Gilbert is there to win that one back from the 2 girls from Clontarf, just up the road from here. Again, the crowd just getting behind Kildare. They're starting to enjoy this for the first time today. Clifford in the middle of the field, and lots of white jerseys coming up in support. This is more like Kildare. This is Sullivan. Clifford wants it again. 8 comes up against 8. Jennifer Dunn there. Nessa Dooley, well, she's shaped as if to say, will I? Dare I? Instead, she goes on to her left. Oh, and sadly, that just goes to the left, but that was more like them, and good skill, and you could see she's 2-footed, and just a little bit of nonchalance there to take on the Dubs, and why not? But she has had precious few chances today to do that. Just checking the Facebook feed and the YouTube, just to check your comments. And indeed, now that we're in the last, 7 minutes of the game, I'll take your proposals for player of the match. Who do you think? It's got to be a Dublin player, of course. Here's Keive O'Connor. Well, she started it all in the first 30 seconds. She hit the post and laid down a marker, and she's still going at them, and she's still cutting through them. And it's just as I say that, of course, the pass goes astray. The crowd, as I say, enjoying this now. A little bit more animated than they've been, but that's because it's been so one-sided. Clifford now for Kildare. They're starting to find a little bit of joy. Maybe the subs have made a difference. They look for Byrne, but she ends up fouling, and it's a free out for Dublin. .4:15 plays 2-4. Well done to Dublin's under-16s. They beat Kildare today as well in the Leinster final by 3 points. High-scoring game. So the last game between these two teams in the Senior Championship was exactly 10 years ago. And the scoreline is actually ending up not much different. It was 10 years ago, 2014, Dublin 6-14, Kildare 1-9. So what's that, 32-12? And at the moment it is 27-10. A lot has changed in 10 years, but that scoreline is looking like it's going to be very similar. Heatherton. Dublin looking to finish with a flourish and maybe replicate that scoreline exactly. This is Nolan, and it's a free in. Referee again giving good advantage. Barry Redmond from Wexford. So a mini revival there from Kildare, but Tyrrell is coming over to take this free because Carla's off the pitch. She would take the ones from the left. Looks a little bit trickier for Tyrrell. Our camera right behind it, so you see the angle. Imagine she'll try to curl it in from the left. Trickier, but certainly not impossible for her. But no, actually she's pulled it. And there remains just the 4:15 to 2-4. So contenders for player of the match, please. I always think the Dublin defence deserves an award just for themselves because they play as one, and there's no one player usually stands out, but they're just so impressive as a defensive unit. 5 is going off for Kildare. I think that's the last substitution. Lauren Murta, that is. So she's replaced for the closing stages, and the replacement is number 29. That's Lisa Shaw from Naas. Alwyn Carey very steady at the back, of course. Jennifer Dunn I was very impressed by. All through. Kosh was terrific as well. She's been replaced. And hold on, here's room now for Nessa Dooley. And I thought for a second, were we going to have a replication of last night in Celtic Park? But Abby Shields not caught that far off her line. And a free in there for that challenge. I think it was Caffrey, and she is apologetic. But Nessa is in a lot of pain on the ground there. And the referee has given the free, and he might want a word as well for that challenge. Keeve O'Connor, obviously, with her running game, was very impressive for them all day. Heatherton was at the centre of a lot. Orla Nolan, though, as usual, pulling the strings. The referee just talking to Goldrick. But I don't think he's going to take anyone here. Maybe he thought that was just accidental, but definitely a free in, but not worthy of anything more. Kate Sullivan, of course, had to... Well, she didn't have to go off, but she did go off eventually after a bit of an injury. Scored one, nearly scored another goal. And Tyrrell, of course, usually gets player of the match. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think there's any one player that was really deserving of player of the match. It's a tough one to call today. Maybe Jennifer Dunn for her work rate, bit of score taking as well, and all over the field. Which sneak it. Who do you think? Give me your vote on what you've seen today. Who you think would get player of the match? And the crowd now getting very animated on the far side, and it's the Kildare supporters. Maybe their young supporters have come in from the minors and under 16s. This is Farrelly. Maybe they're encouraging her to go for goal. Referee is in talking to his umpires, actually. I wonder what that's about. Well, he took a long time, and now he is calling Sinead Goldrick. Is it over to him? And Sinead just back. Came on at half-time, playing her first game. Came back from the Melbourne Demons and playing her first game since July 2022. And this looks like a yellow card for Sinead. Oh, it's a red card. Well, that's a shocker. And the referee didn't look like he was going to do anything about that. And then he went and spoke to his umpires, and Sinead has been sent off. Sensation here right at the end. Dublin down to 14, and that is not the return that the player from Foxrock wanted. And then it's Nessa Dooley trying for a goal. Well, she may as well, but no way through, even though there's only 14 players on the pitch now for Dublin. This is Caffrey. Well, things have livened up right at the end. We've only a minute of normal time left, but Kildare are running around now as if they've been given a new lease of life. This is Niamh Crowley, and the crowd really starting to make themselves heard now, and I think it's the Kildare fans. Or is that the Dublin supporters shouting Dublin. I can't quite make out. No, it's the Kildare flags are up. They're starting to enjoy this. They've had a great run. It's been a fantastic run, and all runs come to an end sometime. And you may as well see it come to an end against Dublin, the All-Ireland senior champions. An off-the-ball collision there that Nessa Dooley's not happy about. Well, Kildare starting to get rather angry, I think, but it's a little bit late. That's Aoife Keane. Back to Caffrey. Hasn't been a score for quite a while. Ever since I said the score might end up being the same as 10 years ago, we haven't had a single point either side. Could have been, of course, but Kildare went for goal. Holgreen deals with that ball rather easily, and there's a Kildare player down again. I think it's Nessa Dooley again, is it? She's been in the wars and had a few challenges against her that have left her in a little bit of pain. And now the referee not happy about a Dublin backroom player or backroom person coming onto the field. And Barry just saying, you're not permitted to be in here. And there was a physio in for Kildare, of course. Not sure what the instruction is for Dublin. They seem to be saying for Orla Nolan to play a little bit deeper because she's now moving back a little bit. Yeah, there's a few Kildare players have moved up, sneaked in behind the defence. Diana O'Hara coming on there talking to the physio to see how Nessa Dooley is, and Nessa is going to have to go off, and I think they've used all 5 subs, so both teams now down to 14. But a round of applause there for the supporters just where Nessa is. They appreciate her effort. She scored the goal in the Division 2 league final, or one of the goals, but a tough day at the office today for her and for the Lilywhites. There is a sub coming on for Kildare. Maybe they'd only made 4. So this would definitely be their last one, but we're already in the 2nd minute of added time at the end of the game. And the crowd at its noisiest today, right at the end of the game. Now, what number is that on the back for Kildare? 20-something. It's only a late run out. Holgreen. Now, they've had so much trouble getting possession from kickouts, but they've got it that time. It's 29 is Lisa Shaw for Kildare. They've just started to fancy this a little bit, Kildare, with the 15 against 14. Clifford spreading the play to Doherty. 28 it is who is in there. That's Alex Reynolds from Kappa, same club as Aoife Radigan. And this is good from Kildare. They've found a way to try and get through. Oh no, they haven't, because Chloe Darby masterfully turned that over. And now Owen's available as always. Dublin just reasserting their dominance in the 33rd minute of the game. Owens again. Runs into traffic, but is fouled. We'll have more live streams over the next few weeks, one every Sunday in the TG4 Leinster Senior Football Championship. And then the final itself will be in Croke Park. Double header, and that one will be on TG4, so watch out for that. Dublin already putting down a marker, and Meath today. They'll be the favourites to make that, but plenty of football to be played between then and now. Tyrrell inside the D, but that's gone outside the posts. 34th minute. The game is up. The unbeaten run is all but over. Holgreen, where can she go? Well, Doherty is hugging the far touchline, and now for the first time it seems Kildare are getting possession easily from the short kickouts. They weren't getting them all day long, but maybe Dublin with the changes have just lost their shape a little bit, or they're just easing up a little bit. They have this game well won, but there comes in the challenge from Kane. They're so good at winning the second ball. And just sneaking in along the side and just getting enough to break that ball and then turn over and hit them at pace. That's what they've been doing. And easily snatched there as well by Annabelle Timothy. The players who just seem to ghost up behind the Kildare players and just snatch the ball away. And even if Kildare get the ball, there's 2 players on them every time. And now they move it through. This is done my player of the match to Tyrrell. And Tyrrell away from goal, maybe going to be the provider this time. Carey back to Dunn. Heatherton available. They always have somebody available. But can they find a way through the white blanket defence? And that ball not quite reaching, but still won in there by Kane. Kildare get it back to Grace Clifford. We're now in the 35th minute of the game, and that is Caffrey coming through and nipping in there to win it. You see how hard it is for Kildare. They managed to get up to halfway, and then Caffrey comes in and wins it. And what a player she is. What a defender she is. You really would not like to be coming up against her. Caffrey to Kerry. They all know each other's game so well, and lots of competitions for places all over the field. This is Darby, one of the young players who's come in and done so well. 7 is Donlan. She's another of them. They have a great mixture of youth and experience, and new players and older players, and players returning as well. And the one stat that stood out for me before the game is that Dublin in their squad today have 10 players out of the 26 who didn't play at all in the senior championship last year, which of course they won. They won the All-Ireland. Without 10 of these players, such transition, and yet they look as strong, if not stronger. Several players back and several new players coming in. And that competition for places drives everybody on. Tyrrell, will she have the final say? And again, has she put it to the right or just over the bar? She's put it to the right again. That's 3 she's missed, not like her, in the last 5 or 10 minutes. And we really haven't had a score for ages in this game, since I said it was similar to the scoreline 10 years ago. And still we play on. Doherty. Fouled at source. Stopped at source. Again, the transition stopped and the momentum killed. Clifford comes over to take it, but I think both sets of players are showing the signs really today. And is it Caoimhe O'Connor being yellow carded? It is. Well, I did say at the start that these ticks, when they were building up early on, might cost Dublin, but it's not really going to cost them now. A lot of sin bins happen very late in the game, and that one is very, very late in the game. So Dublin with 13 players now against 15. Kildare now in the 38th minute of the second half, still going and still running up against blue jerseys, even though there's only 13 of them out there now. This is one of their subs. This is Doran. Can they get another score just for respectability in the scoreline? Doran comes back to Curran. But actually Dublin have dropped right in, and every single player for Dublin is inside their own 40 metres. All 13 of them. Kildare have several players just sitting further out the field, but they're not having any impact in the game. And there is the final whistle. Dublin, the champions in 2023, have put down a marker for 2024 with a very impressive and dominant display. Kildare's unbeaten run is well and truly over. They came up against the Dublin juggernaut today. Other headlines from this game: Nicole Owens is back and played one delicious ball in the second half that is really worth watching again. And Sinead Goldrick is back, but got a red card in the last 5 minutes or so off the game. So not the return that she was looking for, but Dublin have won it very comprehensively. They dictated the terms for most of the game. A high press on all of the kickouts early on, and indeed for the first 55 minutes or so of the game. Kildare got a couple of goals, but really they struggled today. They came up against the team at a different level. They scored 2-4. They didn't score a point from play. They got the 2 goals from play. But Dublin were relentless, and you'll see a lovely shot out of there of Hannah Tyrrell. She is the go-to player, with lots of her fan club out surrounding her in the middle of the field, as our cameraman Patter will close in on that. And the Dubs enjoying the sunshine here in Parnell Park. The Battle of the Champions was the billing for the game, but it's all about the senior champions. Kildare, intermediate champions, 22-game unbeaten run, league champions as well for Division 2, and before that Division 3. But Dublin are all about the championship, and they have played like a championship team today. They have been all about preparing throughout the league for the championship, and they've hit the ground running today on their own turf here in Parnell Park. And it is Hannah Tyrrell being surrounded there, and she won't mind that at all. And lots of other girls coming onto the field, and Kildare players getting into a huddle over to my left to have a little chat, and it's a chat they're not used to. They haven't been beaten since they lost to Louth 23 games ago, and now they are having to have that difficult chat about getting beaten. It's a new experience for them, but they are the new kids on the block at this level. It was a big test for them today, and to be a little bit brutal, they did not pass that test at all. And they will learn an awful lot from it, and they will come back. It might do them a lot of good in the long run. But today they have been very well beaten. It's been Dublin who have won, and they won the under-16 Leinster final as well. So it's a good day for the Dubs. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage. We will be back next week with more from the Leinster Senior Championship, and credit to the Leinster LGFA County, or rather committee, for making these games available in the group stages. That's not necessarily the case all the way around the country, but they are terrific games. And in the sunshine here in Parnell Park, it's been a pleasure to bring this game to you. The other game today in the Senior Championship, well, Meath won that 3-11 to 1-7. So opening round wins for Dublin and Meath. I'll put a few of the clips up on social media, and we'll go and get a couple of interviews as well. But for now, from the team on the live stream coverage, we hope you've enjoyed it. And it's a very sunny and good afternoon from Parnell Park.